In the year 2004, a Metroid game came out for the Game Boy Advance called Metroid Zero Mission. This game had received high ratings and a decent following. However, this game was pretty easy for your standard Metroid game, so people decided to push the game and their skills to the limits by either speedrunning it, fighting all bosses without taking damage, or getting the least amount of upgrades. I've decided to make a challenge of my own where I attempt to beat the entire game without getting hit a single time. The rules are that the 9-9 counter cannot drop and I cannot lose a single energy tank. My main objective is to reach the credits of the game by any means necessary, even skipping certain sections. I will accomplish this by going through and exploring the large world of Planet Zebes and its many lands, defeating all bosses and overcoming many obstacles, and most importantly, defeating the mechanical lifeform Mother Brain. So today I will answer whether it is possible to beat Metroid Zero Mission without taking any damage. This game starts like the original, just with extra information about how this is Samus's first mission. In the beginning, if you go to the left, you will find the first power-up, the Morph Ball. This upgrade makes you smaller, allowing you to fit in small spaces and enter new areas. With this upgrade, you can fit in this hole and explore more of Brinstar. My main priority will be to route the game in a way so that I only get the easy upgrades and essentials. So I will start by getting the long beam. By climbing up this hallway, you will find the long beam, which lets you shoot further, therefore avoiding close combat. By using the long beam and Morph Ball, we can crawl through here and enter this door to our left. That shows our main objective, which is to unlock this gate to Torian by killing Ridley and Crate. After defeating this tough enemy, we can head downstairs into this weird shaky room. To the right of this section will be the missiles, which will be the most important item because it is powerful, fast, and you can unlock many of them. When you exit this room, you will be greeted by the Charge Beam Beast. This boss was the first challenge because spikes would randomly fly from his body and he could run into you. However, he wasn't that difficult, just more of a tutorial boss. After you kill him, you'll unlock the Charge Beam, which lets you shoot more powerful bullets as long as you charge it up. After exploring more of Brinstar, you'll find the map room, which will help with routing. Directly above the map room is another room, which leads to our next upgrade, the Morph Ball bombs. This helps with breaking certain blocks and killing certain enemies. One of these enemies are right next to the upgrade room. This definitely was the most boring part of the run. After backtracking through many hallways and corridors, you'll find this elevator, which leads to Norfair. However, before you enter Norfair, you're shown a cutscene about how Mother Brain is always watching, which is a little unsettling. Your stay in Norfair will be short because by going to the left, you'll take an elevator, which takes you straight to Crateria. Crateria is a water-filled ruin full of secrets, one of which is this unknown item, which lets you open up new pathways. After doing some parkour and breaking this secret wall, you will find the power grip, which lets you hold onto ledges. By using the power grip, you can leave this pit and find your ship, which doesn't do much, but it's kinda cool. By backtracking, you can go back into Norfair and start exploring it. Before I progress the story, I will get more upgrades to help with combat because this next section is where the difficulty starts picking up. To the right of Norfair is the lava section full of tough enemies, random rooms that harm you, and difficult platforming. If you enter the correct room, then you are rewarded with a gauntlet of fiery death. If you manage to get past that, then you will unlock the Ice Beam, which freezes enemies. By freezing these flying enemies, you can get out of that area and move on. Your next objective is to go to Kraid and defeat him. After backtracking a bit, you can enter his lair. This section was not too difficult, just more time consuming, because there are many enemies that could take a beating, and more annoying platforming. Eventually, you will find this machine that lets you move across deadly lakes of acid. Your tutorial on this machine is a boss called Mua. He is very easy and his attacks are limited, so it all boils down to strategy. After a few attacks, you will defeat him and get closer to Crate, if you don't get hit on your way out. You will use the machine many times until you reach this breakable hole that leads to the next unknown item. This item will allow you to enter the first main boss, Crate. He is very difficult. He has multiple attacks and the room is very claustrophobic. His nails turn into deadly boomerangs, he can slash you with his hand, and his belly button sends these nasty things limiting the space. But there's one strategy that simplifies things. If you can't attack, then move to the top right corner. It's just that simple. After a little practice, you will defeat him. And just like that, he is dead. The Get to Torian is almost unlocked and you are one step closer to victory. Your reward is my favorite item in the game, the Speed Booster. This lets you run, but extra fast. You can blast through foes and feel awesome. By using the Speed Booster, you can leave Crate and go back to Brinstar. Before you leave, you are shown a cutscene of Ridley and his fleet entering planet Zebes, which means that your journey is far from over. A wall breaks open next to the elevator, but it's not really important. It just shows your next objective, which is to backtrack through Brinstar and Norfair to get your next upgrade. By using the Speed Booster, you can break the floor here and get your next upgrade, which is the High Jump, which allows you to jump high. I know, very clever. While backtracking through Brinstar, you can do this very specific set of moves to get another item, the Super Missile Tank, which is just a much stronger missile. After obtaining them, you will go to Northern Brinstar, which contains weird hallways and a lot of acid. After going up here, you will get a very important item called the Varia Suit, which protects you from heat and acid. By using the Varia Suit, you can exit this section and once again backtrack to Norfair. Eventually, you will enter these superheated rooms that require all of your current abilities to progress. After going down the secret acid pit, you will enter an area full of overgrown plants and enemies, and by going down yet another pit and defeating this enemy, you will find another beam called the Wave Beam, which allows you to shoot through walls. Next to this room are strange slugs that require both the Wave Beam and Morph Ball bombs. Not long after this, you will find a mini-boss called Ensnared Kirigiro. He is extremely easy because you just have to missile his weak point and make sure that the enemy that you are standing on stays frozen. Once you defeat him, the path will be open and you will be able to enter Ridley. Before you enter, you are shown a cutscene of Ridley entering planet Zebes. Ridley was by far the hardest part of this challenge. There were unpredictable flying enemies that had a crazy amount of defense, and these enemies were grouped together. After getting a few items and climbing along corridors, you will find the boss room, and by going to the left, you will find the final unknown item. However, you can't leave this area, because you are about to experience the worst pain in your life. Ridley was objectively the hardest part of this challenge. He took me hours, because of his movement and your environment. You will get hit by his fireballs, fall in lava, and get grabbed by his claw. I couldn't find a way to kill him. I'd practically given up. Was this even possible? The answer to that is yes, it is very possible, but it won't be easy. I'd created a strategy that would require the wall jump mechanic. In the beginning, whenever Ridley approaches you, you have to wall jump up the wall high enough so that he can't touch you. Then you would blast him with missiles. But don't waste your super missiles. Just wait until you can actually hit him, then shoot them. After that, you just had to use the Morph Ball to avoid his tail. With all these ideas in place, it was time to fight him. In the end, I had defeated Ridley. However, my journey was not complete. I still had to defeat Mother Brain. I immediately left and passed this weird hallway to grab the screw attack. This made my aerial rolls very powerful. With all the items obtained, it was time to enter Torian. I wasn't going to give up now. I was going to finish what I had started, once and for all. I had finally finished the challenge. I'd be in Metroid Zero mission without— Oh no! The space pirate fleet has found Samus and shot her back onto planet Zebes. You are now stranded without her power suit and are left with, quote, a rather useless emergency pistol. Now you have to enter the space pirate ship, and then you are shown what seems to be a robotic eye. As you climb through here, you will immediately find the map room, which shows the vast interior of the ship. This next part was my favorite part of the challenge. It went from Metroid straight to Metal Gear Solid. You have to hide from the space pirates, crawl through tight spaces, and try not to trigger the alarm system. Eventually you will find this glass bridge that leads to the ruins of the ancient alien species that raised Samus, the Chozo. This is where the stealth part becomes much harder. You now have watch lights, useless hiding spots, these weird eye things, and very stressful sections. After a while, you will find this room that reminds Samus of her childhood. Then the penultimate boss called the Ruins Test appears. This boss was simple. You just have to shoot the circle when it shows the symbol. That's all. Once you do that, you will be given the power suit, and the 3 unknown items turn into actual abilities. You will obtain the plasma beam, which makes you super strong, the gravity suit that lets you swim in any liquid, and the space jump, which gives you infinite jumps. With all of these abilities, you may leave and head towards the final boss. Going to the final boss was harder than the entire stealth section, because enemies shoot you from everywhere. Your power means nothing if you can't take damage. Eventually you will push through and enter the control room. By going to the left, you will find the final power-up, the Power Bomb. This is an extremely powerful Morph Ball bomb that might as well be called a nuke. By using this, you can enter the room that holds the final challenge. This is the most terrifying, nightmare-fueled, painful to deal with, and dangerous entity in the whole game, and his name is Mecha Ridley. He shoots countless fireballs. He claws at you, shoots lasers and missiles, while you have to aim for a small weak spot. He is truly the most threatening part of this okay. I guess that's it then. But in his final effort to defeat you, Ridley sets off a self-destruct sequence. Now Samus has to run for her life. Countless enemies try to stop you, and then eventually you will reach your ship. You activate your ship, and the last space pirate tries to take you down but fails. And in the end, you escape just in time as the ship begins to explode, taking everything in it. Samus leaves, and this challenge is a mission accomplished. I would like to thank you all for watching this silly idea I came up with. There's not some grand conclusion or anything. It was just a fun little thing. Please be sure to check out my other content, which is shorter but still fun, and I hope you all have a great day. Goodbye.